She looked at the crumpled $10 bill in her trembling hand and whispered, "This is all I have left." The biker in front of her never expected help, but what happened the next morning would shake the entire town and change her life forever. Eleanor Whitmore had lived in the same small American town for over 60 years, long enough to watch neighbors come and go, businesses rise and fall, and friendships fade into quiet memories. At 78, she lived alone in a tiny rented room above an old bakery that no longer smelled like bread, only dust and time. Her days were slow, her steps careful, and her wallet painfully light. That morning, she counted her money twice, hoping the numbers would somehow change. $10. That was it. Her last $10 until her pension check came. If it came on time, she wrapped her thin cardigan tighter as she stepped outside, planning to buy a loaf of bread and maybe a can of soup. That was when she saw him. A biker, large and intimidating, sitting on the curb outside the closed gas station. His motorcycle was parked awkwardly, clearly broken down. His leather jacket was scuffed, his beard untrimmed, and there was a bruise darkening one side of his face. People passed him without a second glance. Some crossed the street. Eleanor slowed down. Fear tugged at her heart, but something else tugged harder, compassion. She remembered her late husband, a mechanic who used to help strangers without asking questions. The biker noticed her staring and quickly looked away, embarrassed. When she reached him, she asked softly if he was hurt. He hesitated before admitting his bike had broken down the night before and his phone was dead. He hadn't eaten since yesterday. Eleanor's heart ached. She knew hunger. She knew pride. She reached into her purse and felt the folded bill. $10 meant food for the week. $10 meant security. Her hand shook as she pulled it out. She placed it gently in his palm and said, "Please, get something warm to eat." The biker froze. His eyes filled with tears he tried desperately to hide. He tried to refuse, but Eleanor closed his fingers around the money. "I'll be fine," she lied with a smile. As she walked away, she didn't know how she would manage the coming days. She only knew she had done what felt right that night. Eleanor ate crackers and drank tap water. Her stomach growled, but her heart felt strangely full. She whispered a prayer before sleeping, unaware that her small act of kindness had already begun to travel far beyond her quiet street. Eleanor woke up to a low rumble that made her walls tremble. At first, she thought she was dreaming. But the sound grew louder. Engines. Dozens of them. Her heart raced as she carefully walked to the window and pulled the curtain aside. Her breath caught. The street below was filled with motorcycles. Not one or two, but nearly 50. Chrome shining in the morning light. Leather jackets. Helmets tucked under arms. Neighbors stepped outside, whispering in confusion. Eleanor's fear returned, sharp and sudden. Had she done something wrong? She slowly made her way downstairs, her knees weak. As she opened the door, every biker turned toward her. The same biker from yesterday stepped forward. This time, his bike was fixed. His face was clean. And his eyes were shining. He removed his helmet and knelt right there on the pavement. "Ma'am," he said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "you gave me your last money yesterday. I know because I followed you. I saw where you lived. And I couldn't sleep knowing what you sacrificed." He explained that he was part of a nationwide biker brotherhood, a group that protected veterans, helped struggling families, and honored acts of true kindness. When he told them about Eleanor, no one hesitated. They rode all night to be there. One by one, the bikers stepped forward. They handed her envelopes. Keys. Documents. A local reporter arrived, stunned by the scene. Eleanor's hands shook as she learned the truth. They had paid her rent for a year, covered her medical bills, repaired the bakery downstairs, and offered her a share in the business once it reopened. And inside the final envelope was a check large enough to ensure she would never have to choose between kindness and survival again. Eleanor broke down in tears. The bikers stood silently, many wiping their own eyes. The leader helped her to her feet and said, "You reminded us who we're supposed to be." The town never forgot that day. Neither did Eleanor. She spent her remaining years helping others, telling anyone who would listen that kindness is never wasted, it only travels until it finds its way back. She gave her last $10 thinking it was goodbye, but kindness has a way of coming back louder than engines, and richer than money could ever be.